This was a highly anticipated sequel, especially for a certain generation, but it also marked the return to theatrical films for Lindsay Lohan. But now you can get this one at home. It just hit Disney Plus. Let's talk Freakier Friday. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my movie review for Freakier Friday. This is, of course, a sequel to the 2003 Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. And, of course, not the first time Disney has done this story either. There's been a few TV movies along the way, but the original was Jodie Foster was the daughter. That was in the 70s, and that's the one I grew up with. We had a few Disney VHS tapes that we would rent sort of in rotation when I was a kid. The Shaggy Dog was one of them, the Herbie series, and Freaky Friday with Jodie Foster. So I had seen that one a few times in my days, but I had never seen the 2003 edition until right before I saw Freakier Friday, and I loved it. This is not one that was really in my wheelhouse. I mentioned the generationality of that movie in the intro, and it really actually kind of hit two generations because it hit the younger millennials and the older Gen Z kids that were born like in the later 90s. This is a movie that was always on Disney Channel, and they rented the VHS and they rented the DVDs and all of that, or they owned them. And so Freaky Friday holds a very special place, the 2003 version, for a specific group of people. But for me, I missed it when it was out. I wasn't really of the age where I was going to see every Disney movie or every family movie. But I really, really loved it. The chemistry between Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan was great. Very, very enjoyable. And yeah, this one, Freakier Friday, marks Lohan's return to theaters as well. She's done a few Netflix movies recently. She's been in some commercials. She's done some reality show stuff. But in terms of seeing her on the big screen, it's been a while. So it was nice to see her back and in a comfortable role as well. But if you did miss it in theaters, like I said, you can see it now on your screen at home on Disney Plus. So we'll get into this here in just a sec. First, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're a Dan Reviews It subscriber already, thank you so much for that. I love it when you guys return and check out my stuff. If you're not, though, please consider subscribing. Click that notification bell, too. And, of course, like this video, comment below. That stuff helps the channel out as well. And I do love hearing from you in the comments. So let me know your thoughts on this version of the movie. And we have a lot of people returning from that original film. Almost everybody that was anybody in that movie comes back, including, obviously, Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, but you have Mark Harmon returning. Chad Michael Murray, wasn't sure if we'd see his character, but yes, he is here as well. Rosalind Chow, Haley Hudson, Stephen Tobolowsky, all of them returning. And then we have some newcomers as well. Julia Butters, Sophia Hammonds in her feature film debut. She does okay. And then Manny Jacinto from The Good Place is here as well. So this revolves once again around a wedding like that original film. And it involves this time the Anna character played by Lindsay Lohan in her upcoming nuptials to the Manny Jacinto character, Eric. And so he has a daughter named Lily, who is played by that newcomer, Sophia Hammonds. And then Anna has a daughter of her own now, played by Julia Butters. And so much like in the first movie, we have some headbutting between mother and daughter here, between Anna and Harper. Really not understanding where each other's coming from. And, of course, the Jamie Lee Curtis character kind of standing back and laughing about this because she remembers going through the same exact thing with her own daughter. And, yeah, so this is, of course, another body swap movie, but instead of just swapping Curtis and Lohan like in the other movie, no, we go beyond on this one, and we swap four people. So Anna does swap with her daughter, but the interesting one here is Jamie Lee Curtis's Tess swaps with the upcoming step granddaughter, I guess it would be, in the Lily character. And so that is where we're going with this. And we have Vanessa Bayer as well, a former SNL star, as a newcomer as well. She's a fortune teller that sort of puts the switch into motion this time around. So look, we just had, first of all, a body swap comedy with 4+ people being swapped on Netflix. I think it was called Family Swap. I did a review for it. And it was Jennifer Garner, I believe. And so there were 4 people there, but it was all in the family. So it was a little bit easier to track who was who. Here, I have to say, it was a little confusing sometimes to try and remember who is who exactly, because we're swapping a little bit outside the family, with the future stepdaughter and future step granddaughter and all that, being added into the mix. And I will say, I know, look, reality is sort of out the window when we're doing a body swap comedy anyway, but I will say, I would have liked, I think, for a little more based in reality content from specifically the daughter of Anna going into Anna, the Lindsay Lohan character's body, because the choices that were being made, I just was like, this doesn't make sense. This is not how this person would speak and act. However, the flip side of that is Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, she's always great, right? I mean, she's been in our lives for like 50 years in movies and TV and stuff, but she is so friggin' funny in this movie as the young girl. Like, it's funny because the young girl here is about the same age as Anna's character in the first one. So Jamie Lee Curtis really, kind of channeling that same energy as she did in the first movie, but she's 20 years older now. So it's even funnier to kind of, see her stretch those muscles. And there's a lot of good physical comedy here. There's specifically a very funny scene with Chad Michael Murray's character and Anna. And there's some really funny, physical comedy going on there that I enjoyed. I will say, I don't know that overall this is a funnier movie than the 2003. I think that one's funnier, and that one is better overall, don't get me wrong. But I will say the thing that actually this one does better is the emotional impact. This one had me crying by the end. There's a lot of, look, both of these movies have themes of family and stuff, and being shown another person's perspective, being put in somebody else's shoes, literally. But I think this movie actually does it a little bit better than that first movie. And I can't put my finger on exactly why, but I didn't cry watching that first one. But this one really, really hit me in the feels, as they say. And I guess it's because we feel more, I think, for the characters here. Because I do think, while this one is funny, like I said, I think the first one focuses a little more on the gags and the humor. And while the first one ends up being funnier as a result, this one really does hit emotionally, and I have to respect it for that. Yes, it was a little confusing with all the body swap stuff, and I don't love that they did the wedding again. Like, the basis for the first one was surrounding a wedding. Don't love that they sort of redid that. There's a lot of reasons to have tension in the family and body swap stuff. It doesn't have to be another wedding. Didn't love the lack of creativity maybe there. But overall, yes, I do think this is another worthy Disney sequel. I enjoyed this. It is not as good as the first movie, and I don't think I would have to go back and watch the Jodie Foster version. It's probably not even as good as that. And it gets real corny by the end, with Anna. Well, I don't want to go into spoilers, I guess, for this movie, but Anna does have the idea that she wants to get back into playing music. We saw that a lot in the first movie. And, here it's not quite believable. And I know we got to suspend our belief for a movie like this. But overall, I will leave Freakier Friday with a B. And you can check this out, like I said, on Disney Plus. I didn't review the first one, but I would say that that 2003 edition is probably an A minus, maybe even an A. I mean, it's really a solid flick. This one falls a bit below that, but like I said, does some things better. So, all right, thank you for watching Dan Reviews It. We'll see you next time. Bye.